Elliott Sadler, Sam Hornish Jr., and Kyle Busch. P.J. Jones up next to the 7, and that's a backup car. He hit the wall hard in practice earlier today.
And what I'm seeing right here, all they're going to try to do is make a circle with this 7 car. In fact, I'm not even sure he's going to make a circle. Something is totally wrong with that race car.
Or a triangle, as it were.
Yeah, it's like sucked down on the right front. The left front was up. There's definitely something in trouble with this backup 7 car. Robbie Gordon getting ready for Watkins Glen down testing at Road Atlanta. This was about halfway through the first practice we had earlier today.
It's like he went in that turn 1 right there, overdrove it a little bit, couldn't get the car to slow down, and all of a sudden it slid all the way to the outside safer barrier. He hit it hard.
Pocono has been hard on this 7 crew. In fact, back in June, they missed the show. They were outside the top 35 with Ted Musgrave, and it's been what I think Jeff and I would look at as a character-building day for that crew.
A lot of Casey Mears brings his Chevrolet to the pit lane, 54.112. Mears just 33rd overall. But
yeah, Max, they've missed 4 races this year, but the good news, I was talking to Booty Barker, one of my buddies we shoot NASCAR Performance with. They've qualified for at least the 2 biggest races, the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 last week.
Hey, is Booty coming to trackside? Crew Chief Extravaganza?
You know what? We can do that. I'll just go right by and pick him up, too.
The shuttle bus.
Yes, sir. The bus needs to get a little bigger, though, I'm going to say.
Crew Chief Express.
Yeah.
Dave Blaney, a veteran here at Pocono, 21 starts for the Buckeye Bullet.
So right now, for Dave to lock in, he would need to beat that 53.78 of Travis Quapple. You know he would race on Sunday. That's the little green stripe on our tracker that represents Travis Quapple's time.
Blaney has 1 top 10 finish here. Has 16 starts in this 2010 season.
You know, while we're watching Dave Blaney qualify, I know we're in our go home group. Keep going back to things that I saw and things that I heard at Indy. And Jimmy Johnson had a great comment in his post-race comments. And you know, the more I thought about it, the guy's absolutely right. He said nobody in 2010 has been able to put a long, hot streak together and keep it. Yeah, the 29 car, Gil Martin, Kevin Harvick, they've been consistent, but nobody, you know, the 48 did it at the start of the season and back in June. The 11 did it in March, April, in part of May and June. But nobody's been able to do it and keep it there for a long period of time.
Wonder why?
I just think it's the competition. The competition. Look at the guys that we've got this year. As Dave Blaney's going to run his 2nd lap right now. He's 34th quickest, 2nd quickest of the go homers. Just look at teams we've got this year that were not even in the picture last year. More than anything, those 3 Richard Childress cars. And now all of a sudden, we're starting to see a little bit of spring in the step of the Roush Fenway guys. I know we beat those guys up, but they do have 3 cars in the top 12 right now, talking about the Roush Fenway group.
They do. I mean, they're a model of consistency, not excellence, but at the same time, they're very consistent, very persistent, and they make the best out of the situations that are dealt. For Dave Blaney, well, still winds up holding on to 34th quickest right now, and that locks in Travis Quapple in that 38 car.
Qualifying continues here at Pocono. Stay with us here on Speed. Qualifying continues here at Pocono. Michael McDowell in the 55 and Joe Nemechek in the 87 have locked themselves in to Sunday's show. So good qualifying effort by those 2 teams and drivers. J.J. Yeley and then Max Papis.
Now that should, though, lock Dave Blaney into the show. So both the Prism Motorsports cars will race on Sunday, Micah McDowell and Dave Blaney.
Todd Bodine has quite a bit of experience here at Pocono in the Cup Series. 13 starts. Actually won the pole for the 2001 Pennsylvania 500.
We talked about it earlier. Todd was able to qualify this car at Indianapolis the other week.
And then Chad McCumbee qualified this 64 car back in June. Todd could not be here because of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series schedule. Right now, just need to beat a 54-11. That's Casey Mears. That's the little green stripe right there that he's sitting right on top of right now in the 64 car.
And Larry, as you said a moment ago, Dave Blaney is in fact locked into the show.
Todd held a charity golf tournament up here in the Pennsylvania area. I don't remember the exact name, but I think it was like called the U.S. Onion Open or something.
It had something to do with onion, yes.
Yes, it did.
Onion slice, they said.
Clever.
Yeah, very clever. Larry, you ever sliced a golf ball?
Only every time I hit it.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to Todd's wife, and they were hoping to raise money for pediatric hospitals up near here.
Now, that's when I hit it far enough to consider it a slice. I figured it's still out.
I'm going to bring that up.
I've been bowling and I've been golfing. I've got my scores backwards. My golf score is higher than my bowling score.
Got to work on that.
That's not good. Either one of them.
No, not at all. Todd's going to shut it down, but the good news for that will lock Casey Mears in that 36 car in. That's a car that missed the Brickyard last week.
The Now Network. Landon Castle in the 09 car has locked himself into the show.
I'm going to tell you what, though, J.J. Yeley in this 46 car, he didn't mess around. He went straight to the top of the go-or-go-homers, and he is at a 53.69. Had a rough 2 days at the Brickyard 400 last week. Did not miss the show. In fact, they've missed the last 2 shows at Chicagoland in the Brickyard, but he will race on Sunday.
Yeah, good comeback by this operation to get him in the show here today.
And David Stremme, unfortunately, will not race in that 26 car on Sunday. He is bumped out.
So you know what this means, guys? It's going to come down to one.
Max Papis or Todd Bodine. Max is the final car to take qualifying here.
Better call up Booty Barker and said you got to work some magic.
Tell you what, he qualified about mid-pack here in June, ended up qualifying 20th. As mentioned, qualified for the Brickyard 400. But what an explosion under the hood of that 13 car early in the race. Big-time engine failure.
As they like to say, something coming up.
Max ran a 55.04 in practice, so he's going to need to pick up about 9/10, which we've seen a lot of cars do. And the clouds, they've kind of been going in, and the sun's been coming in, going out. It's not been really consistent during his qualifying session.
Yeah, he's not going to get much help from that. Right now, turn 3 has got some sun on it, where before it was in total shade. So it's going to be up to Max whether or not he can pull this out.
And he has to be to the left of the green stripe that represents Todd Bodine in that 64 car, who's 40th right now. I don't see any signs yet, and he's got 1 corner to go. Didn't get it done in turn 1 or turn 2.
Got to nail turn 3 if he wants to have a chance.
You know, I don't see the car doing anything strange, Jeff. You almost wonder, did he ramp it up like he needed to ramp it up? And that first lap's not going to do it. In fact, he's the slowest of the go-or-go-home cars.
As they say, he'll have to play 2 now for sure, and hopefully the car has got enough in it.
Car did wash up the racetrack just a little bit in turn 1, like he had to really hesitate in the middle of the corner picking up the throttle. Looking like it might be a little better lap possibly than the first one, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. I mean, I even looking at it, I don't really see his hands doing a whole lot of anything crazy.
Yeah, Larry, like you said, it looks like it just doesn't have speed to it.
No. You know, and there's no question the track's got a lot more grip right now than when he was out there practicing earlier, but it doesn't look like Max Papis will race on Sunday.
Nope.
But Todd Bodine qualifies and will race.
So 12th career pole for Tony Stewart in his 413th NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race.